Oh no, forgot to put my headphones in. One thing, one small teapot. I have 35 minutes before a student of mine shows up. And so I wanted to be in here. I wanted to do a live with you guys today. I had too much other stuff going on, so I kind of wasn't able to be in here until right now, which is unusual for a Tuesday. So I'm kind of surprised about that. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. So we're going to try to crank through a tiny little teapot as fast as we can. And yeah, we'll go from there. I think it's going to have the same top handle because I'm really liking it. And it's going to be bigger than the tiny teapot that we made on the teapot yesterday. So it's going to be kind of like a hybrid size, and it should be good. Dima, what's up? What's happening? How are you? How are the birds? Tell me everything. Pat, how are you? Hey, how are you? I forgot we were going to do that. Yeah, what's the weather like? Thank you. Yeah, it came out really nice, right? The teapot that we made yesterday. Was it yesterday? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. I've been outside doing chores most of the day, so I wasn't able to get in here. We had a storm a couple days ago, and it knocked down just a ton of trees. And so this morning I was just kind of doing a ton of cleanup, so I hadn't been able to get in here. I see. That does not seem fun at all. Well, hopefully, is the weather going to get better soon, or is that just like it for the next foreseeable future? That sounds great. That's so weird. It blocked your comment uh, that you're throwing right now. That's very silly. What kind of planters are you throwing? Gotcha. Oh my God. We got a mixed bag of weather then, it seems like. It's supposed to rain here all day tomorrow, um, which is going to be fine. I'm gonna take we decided pretty much to end ski team a little bit early because of the weather, and um, we're gonna take all the kids. They want to get ice cream. It's winter still, but you know what? If that's what they want to do, we're gonna go get ice cream on tomorrow instead. Well, I don't know how God given it was. I think it was quite earned. How are you? Welcome in. All right. Ice. You can't go wrong with ice cream. So anything to get them sugary. They're all hyped up. I regret I gave them some cookies on Friday because it was the last race, and regrettable. They were monsters in the car ride back from the mountain. It was a mistake on my part for sure. I should have waited till we were closer to school, so it was the parents' problem. But man, it's like one cookie sends these kids off the rails. But that's all right. Oh, I hope he takes everything, man. just boop. It was fine. Yeah, it was cold. It was 16 degrees here. It was supposed to be 9. I don't know why it didn't get that low. That sounds lovely. That sounds like an amazing planter. I want to make some planters. Maybe we'll make planters together at some point. That sounds wonderful. All right, so there's our little teapot body. Doesn't really matter that my gallery is messed up because you're not going to see it. Doesn't really matter. I just wanted to make sure it was big enough that it wasn't going to be an issue. You know, we were struggling yesterday with that mini one, and I just don't want to do it again. All right, we're doing great on time too. There is a potential that we could just do a bunch. Rasa, what's up? What a cool name. Sydney, how are you? Yeah, it is the season for planters. Wait, what am I doing? Hold on. Usually we make more than one of these at a time, but since this is since I have a class in 20 minutes, I don't. I want to be fully finished with you guys before she shows up. You know, my issue with planters, making planters, is that they're never big enough. Every time I go to actually then pot my plant, I'm like, this is a great training pot and a great little starter pot, but it's too small. It's never big enough. It's a pain. California? Nice. We're in California. Okay. All right. I eyeballed it probably pretty poorly. What's it's oh yeah. Honestly, I really like the like quote unquote gloomier the weather, the more studio enthused I am. I just want to be in here. If it's raining out and it's like gloomy out, it just gets me hyped. I'm like, I want to be in the studio. This is perfect. Oh my God, no. That sucks. I'm so sorry. I hope your finger's feeling better. San Diego. I've never been. Is it nice? Oh my God, Pat. The problem is, everybody's like, oh, we want these shallow bonsai pots, and you make them, and then people are like, no, what we really want are training pots, the like really tall ones. They don't really want the actual show bonsai pots. Um, at least I used to sell them a lot online, and it was just on a Facebook group. I was on an auction site that I would sell them on all the time. But yeah, totally fair, totally fair. I actually don't. I've never had a tablet, so I don't know what it's like texting there. But there's some talented people in here, Dima, including yourself. Right? Right? That's why Kung Fu is so great. Everything is as big as it's supposed to be. Okay, this is silly. What am I doing? You know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to be smart about this. Not small enough. Not bad. It'll be too small though, 100%. Gotcha. I can barely speak English myself, so you're doing better than me. Yeah, finger wounds are tough just because they do end up being bloodier. I don't ever wear gloves with any of the stuff I do, and so my hands end up getting really messed up constantly. So I feel you in that regard. I hope you, if you're a plant killer, I hope you get a non-expensive tree to start with, and maybe something easy. Like you could get like like one of those ginseng, uh, what a ficus or a succulent, and turn that into a bonsai. Much harder to kill those. All right, this looks about right. I think it's a little big, but that's okay. Uh, it's only okay because I think when I do this, we'll be all good. Okay, cool. Okay, good. That is the way to start if you don't want to get into it. It's also, and you probably know this, but a lot of bonsai are like plants that need to weather outside in like a cool space so they can go through a dormancy. And it's like I see a lot of people getting like pine trees and then keeping them inside all year long and then they die. And it's like, yeah, it has to go through its dormancy, otherwise it'll just die. That's like a pretty common thing that I kind of see when people are starting off in it. But hmm, wow, $6 for 20 pounds is cheap. Do you like the clay? Is it nice? It's just is kind of like an amalgamation of a bunch of different cone six clays. What's the deal? Yeah, to be honest, I don't have uh the bonsai to me for me it's not I would rather just have like a tree that I could dwarf versus uh actually have something in a plant in a pot. Ta-da! And so like all my cherry trees and stuff, I'm keeping them dwarfed. But I have no interest in like having them in a pot. My ex was really into them, which is why I got into the pottery part of it. But then she lost interest, and so I stopped making them. But it is an interesting. It's cool. Forest plantings are really cool. Yeah, they're sweet. A lot of this stuff is really sweet. Yeah, I see. Okay. And how does that happen? What's the cause? Later. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy yourself. That sounds lovely. I see. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that would be confusing. Well, as long as it looks nice and it works and it's cheap, that works great. Joyce, what's up? What's happening? What's going on? I screwed up on this thing. No one looked for a second. I messed up, and that's okay. It'll be fine. So, unrelated to anything we're talking about, I was re-looking at which is the optical illusion. Gotcha. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's too bad. Uh, I'm choking on nothing. Uh, I was looking at trips again today, just to leave the country for a bit. And I have a question for you guys. I'm going out of left field here. I was in Norway a couple of years ago, and I'm now thinking about maybe going back because it's pretty. Flights are cheap compared to anywhere else, really. Has anybody done Trolltunga in um, where is it? Oda, by chance, that's in here. I feel like that's a pretty unlikely thing, but I was looking at it when I was in there, went there a couple of years ago, and I didn't do it. And now I'm kind of like, so I go back and do it? Kind of seems kind of fun. I just don't know how to get there. But, oh, gotcha. Yeah, the top centered, the bottom is not. So it's not really an optical illusion. That is what you're seeing because this is oh, you mean it's not moving at all? Ah, it's so little that makes sense. Cool. All right, there's our spout for our mini teapot. And now we just need to make a handle. I'm going to do that on this board over here. Very exciting board space. Take a little piece of clay from. Gonna lose my whole bat over here. Take a little piece of clay from there. That's kind of. It seems like it, right? I was like, it'd be nice if there was an easier access point to it. Um, but I saw flights all over the western side of Norway in July are all like $700. And so I'm like, maybe I go to northern Norway, or maybe I even go to Sweden or something. It's the same flight from to the cost wise to Oslo, and I really don't want to go into Oslo again unless I have to. I didn't really like Oslo, so it was fine, but it's a city. I just don't want to be in cities, I guess. I didn't trim the little piece. I am clearly out of it. We'll have to trim this little guy. I totally missed that step. But let's just make the handle so it's ready to go. Do you usually use stains? I I never really use them, and I hear people using them all the time. But I guess that's just more of a common thing in cone six firing. And what are you getting out of using a stain versus using a glaze, as far as like a benefit out of just curiosity? Yeah, well, that's why I usually I have the most time to travel in July. So usually I go out of the country in like mid-July. So I don't. I remember when I was in Norway 2 Julys ago. It was on the peaks there when I was taking the train over from Oslo to Bergen. It was pretty snowy still. But then I was thinking maybe even taking I saw there was a place midway that did like snow bike rides. And I was like, maybe I do like a snowy bike ride trip thing. Wait, what am I doing? I don't know. I just want to. I'm getting the itch to hike right now, and I think next week, the ski team's done. I think next week I'm gonna do a couple 20-mile days, maybe on the AT or something, and just get this itch over with. So I just need to do something. I'm getting antsy. Let's see. Now, you're just I don't how do you apply a stain? I don't even know. I know really nothing about stains. Do you ever wedge it into the clay? I feel like I see people do that. People talk about stuff like that, Pat, but I have never experienced an issue with anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't believe most things people say about pottery anymore because um, what I've learned over the years is that a lot of a lot of people who are most vocal about how things work in the ceramic world have no idea how things work in the ceramic world. Um, Like the people I've seen on TikTok who are really big, and not all of them. Some of them are, they actually know what they're talking about. But a lot of them are just like stumbled into the fame and give like solid, like real, like defined advice based in seemingly nothing. But I would love to garden, but I live in a place that has very little cell service, and so I can't. Most of the places, even my house here, I actually don't have cell service in my house. I just have Wi-Fi here, so I can't do anything that doesn't have my route, my little extender things hitting. Hi, by the way, how are you? Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Oh yeah, those those bonsai guys who are also potters are I don't know. Uh, do you remember his name by chance? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the next trip lies. I just again, I just need that. I need to do stuff. I know, right? It would be nice. I mean, like, so when I grew up, I barely had any Wi-Fi, and I didn't have. Well, there was no. I guess there was no internet when I grew up around here, but there's no cell phones either. But as things progressed, then we got internet and we got uh, cell phones and all that fun stuff. I still didn't have it when I was here. Of course, Garden. I would love to. She's sound asleep at the moment. Well, we had a very busy day doing a bunch of cleaning activities. We were out moving all the pine trees that fell during the storm a couple days ago. I, yes, I agree with that statement. And what I have noticed is that a lot of potters learn from other hobby potters who learn from other hobby potters who learn from other hobby potters. And it's kind of like this perpetuating thing where it's like that's why we still have a myth about air bubbles and about other things, and that's not to say it's a bad thing, but it does perpetuate misinformation pretty aggressively. Christina, how are you? How was the dance? Cute. Hi, Petal. Adorable. Adorable. We took a little fishing adventure before coming into the studio, just a quick one, which was really nice. There's no fishy. I went through. Does that matter though? I guess it doesn't matter. It's a pendant. You are? Oh my God. Send pictures, please. Can't wait to see. I think we're going to finish this in perfect timing. This is great. That's annoying. Anyway, I'll clean that up, that ring around there, but that's where we're at the moment. All right, now I can take this thing off. Now I don't need this anymore. Now we can bring back the board, connect things, do all that fun stuff. Yes, please. Thank you. Can't wait. Uh, yeah, I get that. I totally would understand that. I wouldn't want to be in the studio if there were too many people in there. A few pennant whiskey jars. What's a whiskey jar? I don't even know what that is. I'm happy to make it though. Mm. Yeah, that's I kind of feel the same way about the toxicity thing. It's like I don't know if I really buy it honestly. I'm doing great, Christina. I'm enjoying the day. It's beautiful. Yesterday was gorgeous. Had the best day on the mountain, and I've been super busy today. And I have a student coming in. She'll be here in 15 minutes, so I'm hoping that we can finish this in 10 minutes before she gets here, in case she decides to get here early. And it's been a good day. It was nice to go fishing for a little bit, even though there weren't any fish, and it was whatever. But always nice to be down there with little dog. What am I doing? What am I getting? I really like the teapot we made yesterday. Was that yesterday that we did that? I'm kind of losing my track of everything. I'll probably make a couple more of these off camera during my lesson. So the lesson that I have Tuesday nights is kind of like an open studio session situation. She comes, I work at the same time, but I'm constantly kind of like helping out if need be and blah, 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 blah. One of my older students, as far as like how long I've been teaching. Actually, I think she's the oldest student. I've been teaching her for a million years now. Oh, it's never about the fish. It's never about the fish. It's always about the fun with the little dog and being outside and exploring new places. We can't. It's all catch and release at this point of the year too. So I was using like flies that I knew weren't even going to catch anything. So even if there was something there, there was like flies that someone gave me that I don't think are going to work for anything. I have another buddy who's been tying me flies that are absolutely stunning. Um, I'm excited to use those, but that's cool. When can you finally be crutchless? I had a really cute experience with. So I was teaching the other day, and there was this little girl who broke her leg and her wrist, and I saw her, and there was like a couple kids around her, and they were all being like, "What happened? How'd you break this?" Blah 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 blah. And I walked up, and I was just like, "That's the coolest crutch I've ever seen in my life. This is awesome. You're doing great. Whatever you're doing, keep it up." And she got so excited because everybody has been just saying, "What happened? Are you okay? What happened?" And she she left, and then she came back like right before I was about to take the other kids skiing, and she's like, "I'm gonna write this in my journal. This was the highlight of my day." I'm like, the cutest thing. Oh my god. Oh, I don't have kids. I teach kids. I have a vasectomy. I'm not having kids. I don't want kids, but I don't mind teaching kids. Oh, I am. It's a beautiful day, Christina. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, I'm glad that you're on the up and up. Oh no, you're yeah. No, but I have like a bunch like for the ski team it's like 17 kids, and then I teach tennis, and I have about 30 of them for that. So, okay. So the question is, I remember that it was silly of me to torch it, but I'm going to torch it anyway because it made it easier to do this next part. And since we're running low on time. Thanks. Yeah. Ah, okay. I really like this little teapot. Oh my God. I like the almost the idea of having it like a stupidly tall handle. I'm not gonna do it. But I like the idea of it. Let's try there. Ooh. And let's try it there like that. See how that looks. I mean, that's pretty cute. Um, I think they are so the only real big difficulty for stuff this small is the lid. And that's if it's smaller than this, then I actually have a kind of an issue. But I don't know. I'm used to making small stuff, not a big deal. Not too bad, eh? I really like the spout on this one. It's like chubby and cute, and the handle's silly, and it's tall and ridiculous. Ah, there's more clay than I wanted in my mouth. You would think that I would kind of know how much clay I was going to get myself into by shoving my tongue on it, but it is what it is. Sometimes I forget. It's so cute. You know, am I about to just do a huge career switch and I just make pendants for the rest of my life? I'm not. That's not going to happen, but man, it's tempting. They're like I'm enjoying this so much. To be honest, I wasn't actually enjoying the pendant making when we first started. I was just doing it mostly because people were excited about it, but now that we're getting into it and doing these different sizes and stuff, I'm pretty psyched. Yes, you should. You should go higher. I think the the only planter that really I use still that actually worked was like I think it was like 16 pounds, something like that. And I have a big Monstera in it. I think that's really the only one that I've really consistently kept over the years. But that's me. It'd be fun to throw like a massive pot with you guys at some point, but I don't have the clay. I'm down to my last bag of porcelain. We're using the reclaim now, but I have one fresh bag of porcelain, and I'm full out. Right? We were talking about that, Christina. It's always you always need like a million times more than you think. Oh, you got this. Easy. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, I like that too. I'm not saying I don't like that, but there is something like very cute about these like I never make non-functional stuff, you know, or non-utilitarianly functional stuff. And so I don't know, this is such a change in like everything that I've been doing for the last 10 years. I mean, it's the exact we're doing the same thing. We're still making teapots, but yeah, good. 8 sounds perfect. Love that idea. How do I do this? I used to throw these big 25-pound plates all the time. I was really into them. Um, but it's hard to sell 25-pound plates, not because they weigh 25 pounds, but they're large, and it's like I'm atmospherically firing them, and so they cost me. Well, back then they were costing me a ton to fire. Like it was like $140 just in firing fees per plate. And I was like, so I have to charge like $500 per plate bowl thing, and it was just, it's like, how many can I actually sell? so I stopped. Nice. Awesome. Love that. Maybe, Joyce. Maybe that's something we can talk about. If we end up doing it, we can have a kiln build on a live at some point. If that ends up being like that, I think that'll be like the. How many kilns have I built over the years? I've built quite a few kilns now that I think about it. Oh, wait, hold on. I can't think about that right now. I need to focus. I gotta dial this in. She's gonna be here in 5 minutes. And when she's here, regardless if we're done or not, I'm gonna bail on you guys just because I something I don't like doing is having other people on live videos unless it's very consensual and they want that. But a lot of my pottery classes are really kind of just like therapy sessions almost. We're learning stuff, but it's more just talking about how we're doing and how everything's going and if everything's all right and all that kind of stuff. I'm a like I've said in the past, maybe not here, but I'm an emotional support teacher more than anything else. Like we can learn whatever you want, but I'm here more to be just like you got this, and in pottery and in life, you know. So it's worked well for me so far. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what went wrong or I'll help you through, and it'll be. I don't like giving answers. I like just being like, what if you think like this? Or what if you thought like this? That's a cool thing that you're doing right now. Maybe you should look at it. I don't know. That's my teaching style. A little wheel side chat? I don't quite understand. Sorry. All right. That's that's done. I'm glad, Pat. I'm glad you're into it. There's a lot of hardships when it comes to pottery, and it's never fun when you're around people who are negative. That being said, one of my favorite parts about owning my own kiln is being able just to be really upset about it because I don't have to pretend that everything is nice that comes out, which is what you have to do. And I'm just telling you, everybody, right now, if you go to an atmospheric kiln and you don't pretend everything is the best thing you've ever seen, you're not getting invited back. Um, so you got to just make sure, even if it's not, you just got to lie. Just there's a lot of work that goes in, and it's just like it's devastating when stuff isn't great. Um, and so a lot of massaging the truth there. There, Joyce. All right, we got. Gonna dry that out, and then we're going to. I just need that to sit for like a minute, real quick, and then we'll start carving it. Yeah. Oh, I love that idea, Sydney. I see. I see. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. I forgot that I streamed it. I just sit there and I swear, and I'm just like everything is horrible. Oh, here she is. Okay. Well, we pretty much finished. I didn't get to trim it or carve it, but there's our little teapot. I'm glad we got to do it a little live, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. I do have to take the kids to go get ice cream, but we're not going skiing, so I should have more time during the day. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.